As you know, I like this team, but I am very wary of going to the post too many times with the same people. And the track record shows, especially in the postseason, a sort of decline. So I don't know how to feel. But I know people are really on edge about this team. And this is what I want to discuss today. I sense very little patience with this Philadelphia Philly team. I think they've earned patience. They've been a really a good team, a contending team for certainly the last 3 years. And Rob Thompson's been a very consistent manager over the last 3 years. But I read a headline today, and it says, how long will Rob Thompson's leash be with Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton after 2 disappointing Philly seasons? Oh, the heat is on from day one of a 162-game schedule. And I wonder if the same heat comes from the Philly fan base. I'm reading in this story, it says this. The bar has been raised since the spring of 2022. But no matter how you slice it, Thompson has now managed the Phillies to back-to-back underachieving seasons. And I go, oof. It seems that their win total went from 87 and 90 to 95. The underachieving, well, they declined in the postseason. So does that define what an underachieving season is? I don't know. I look at baseball, it's like once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. And what Dombrowski said, we've been a very good club under his guidance. That's not good enough anymore to a lot of people. You can't be a very good club anymore. This is almost like when the Sixers came into this year, people were saying, okay, this is the window. Either you get it done now or you don't get it done ever. And so the Phillies enter a season with, I think, the same kind of expectations. This lineup has been now set for several years, and people look at the pitching staff and say, well, they should win with this pitching staff. And I go, okay, I don't know. I really don't know. I am trying to sense what the fan base is all about. Here's what I know about starting pitching. I can't remember the last team, and maybe people can help me out, the last team that said, boy, my staff is good enough for the whole year, and nobody can beat my pitching staff. Not even the Dodgers said that. Ultimately, you have to win by scoring more runs than the other team. And I have never seen a staff with 1 to 5, the Phillies boast this 1 to 5 number, that has been able to last an entire season with that kind of efficiency. It's one thing to look at it on paper. It's another thing to look at it in reality and say, really, when's the last time somebody assembled a starting staff that's going to carry a team through a whole year? What is baseball now? Baseball, give me 6, and I'll go to some hammers in the bullpen to get through the rest of the game. So I don't know if the impressive, on-paper, starting rotation is as important as we think it is. I go to our peeps. Bill Colarulo's with me. Ray Dunn is with me. Billy Boy, you love this starting rotation. You've been touting this, look at the starting rotation. And nobody has this kind of starting rotation. And I go, yeah, you're going to be all perfect all year? And they're going to bring up this Andrew Painter with things, in midseason. He's going to be dazzling. Like, you take a lot of liberty with a starting pitching staff, my friend.
Yeah, I understand in the modern Major League Baseball, starting pitchers don't average that many pitches a game like they used to, but the Phillies still do. Like, I was looking at a number earlier today where I think last season the average starting pitcher only threw about 85 pitches, whereas Wheeler, Nola, they were well over 90. And I think even Ranger Suarez, before he got hurt, was over 90. So they approach things a little bit differently. But I think when you have a pitching staff as good as the Phillies do, and you still have a good lineup. See, this is why I'm more high on the Phillies than I think some of the fan base is. I look at a team last year that after the All-Star break played about 500 baseball, and you had a lot of guys underperforming. You had a lot of your big stars underperform after the All-Star break, and I just don't think that's likely that these guys are going to do that again. I'm expecting a bigger year from Trey. I'm expecting a bigger year from Bryson Stott. I'm expecting a bigger second half from Alec Boehm and Bryce Harper. And the more I look at this Max Kepler, the more I'm thinking, all right, that is an upgrade in left field. I know he's not the right-handed bat that we all wanted. He's a left-handed bat, but he doesn't chase. He's hitting the ball really hard in the spring. So maybe that's an upgrade as well. So when you factor all of it in, not only the starting pitching, not only that you added Luzardo to add depth, not only that you have Andrew Painter potentially coming up, but you look at this lineup and where their improvements could be, that's why I'm feeling pretty good. Now, I've also been very critical of Rob Thompson.
Yes, you have.
But I'm going to give you some numbers like I used to do with Nick Sirianni, because I always would defend Nick Sirianni and I would base it off numbers. I mean, Rob Thompson is a manager that has the third highest winning percentage of any current Major League Baseball manager right now. He has the 24th highest winning percentage in MLB history, and 14 of the 23 managers above him are Hall of Fame guys. So when Marcus Hayes puts in there that he has managed this team to 2 disappointing seasons. Underachieving. Well, that's not entirely accurate. Yes, postseason disappointment, I agree. Regular season? No way. And you mentioned it. They've won more games each season in the last 3. That's why I felt like Rob Thompson deserved to come back. But I'm hoping that he has learned from the postseason failures of the last 2 years, and we see a different manager come October and down the stretch of this season. But I do think fans should be a little bit more positive than they are in light of everything I just said.
So are you sensing that fans are not positive?
Absolutely not. Well, I think a majority of fans are either in one of 2 camps. 1, wake me up when October gets here. Or 2, the window's closed. This group's never going to win anything. They're too old. They're aging. They don't care. Like, there's all these fans who have just turned on this team. We had the texter yesterday who said they're a bunch of fraud choke artists.
Well, he's an idiot.
But I think there are fans that have that. I think there are fans that have that mentality, but there's a lot of people who are, hey, wake me up in October. And I think that would be a sad way to approach this season, especially when you don't have the Sixers, you don't have the Flyers. Let's try to enjoy the regular season because this team has been very good the last 2, 3
I got
regular
news
seasons.
for you. Here's what I sense. I sense that the Phillies get off to this, 3-3, 3-4, 4-5, 5-4, something like that. People are going to be squeezing.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
People are going to be squeezing, and I don't really know what it means. I am very wary of going to the post with the same every single time. And I like to freshen things up a little bit. I don't know where they could have freshened things up, so maybe I'm talking through my hat here. But I also look at the starting rotation, and I think it's more a perfect world than reality that these starters are going to all be healthy. We already got one guy that's not healthy, and I think that's going to continue all year. My sense of Ranger Suarez, it's going to be up, it's going to be down, it's going to be down and up and down the whole year. So they're going to struggle with that the whole year. The 5th starter, they may struggle with that as well when they have to put in the Taiwan Walkers of the world or the Michael Mercados or whoever going to throw in there or the guy they just got. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But my eyes are wide open. So let's go to Mr. Philly Optimism, who's the only guy today that remembered to go backwards hat. And I laud Ray Dunn for that.
And he's the only guy who you would say is young enough to rock the backwards.
He's young enough to rock the backwards hat. I was going to rock it today. I forgot completely about it. You forgot completely about it.
Yeah, and I disagree with you, but go ahead. Ray.
Slightly embarrassing for me. I'm not really a backwards hat guy. To be the only guy on this show with a backwards hat, I feel like I was kind of left on an island.
Yeah, I think you were, Ray, and tomorrow I'm going to make it up.
Yeah, my apologies, Ray.
It's all right. It's okay.
But
I'll
in
move
any
on.
event, Ray, I've dubbed you Mr. Philly.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm ready to hear the pearls of positivity from Mr. Dunn.
The pearls of positivity, I mean, you've described what this pitching rotation is right now. You have a potential Cy Young winner in Zach Wheeler at the front of your rotation, and potentially when we talk about length, longevity, and what he's done at the level he's done it for this team, the best we've seen in the 21st century put on a Phillies uniform. And
I've got no problem with that guy.
Yeah, I understand that, but anchoring the front.
By the way, this just in. I'm okay with him.
But I'm telling you, anchoring the front of your rotation. Sometimes we throw ourselves so much to the concerns, we forget what we actually have in front of us. And a rotation that's anchored by Wheeler, and then you have 3 guys following him that can give you top-notch level starting pitching anytime they walk out there with Luzardo, with Sanchez, with Aaron Nola. That's a recipe to 90 wins right there, and a recipe in the postseason to put yourself in a really good spot. And they do something that a lot of rotations in baseball have not done for their teams over the last couple of years, and that's keep this bullpen from throwing the number of innings that a lot of other bullpens will be tasked with throwing throughout this season. That gives you a chance to get to the postseason a little bit fresher than other bullpens. We can get to the lineup, but I think that there is a little bit of underrating what you have in a pitching staff, I think, from the people that are so concerned about what they're watching because they're so concerned about the offense.
How many stacked rotations have there been lately, though? People don't stack rotation anymore. They get a couple guys in their rotation, and they get 6-inning guys, and they load up on really big depth in the bullpen these days. Big depth. That's what wins.
Well, the Dodgers got a stacked rotation.
They
also have a great lineup.
Now they have a great bullpen as well. And last year, when their rotation was hurt, their bullpen carried them. All right, well, listen, I want to know how the people feel about this. We're on the precipice of another season that starts mañana against the always tough Washington Nationals. Here's how you get into the show. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. It is the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos. It's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.